This time on Edges Unknown.
Whoa! You're a loser!
The return to the land, getting your hands dirty. The truth is, it's hard work. We gotta build a homestead. We need to build a little farm area, bring down the goats. There's lots to do. We're really pushing ourselves.
What do you want? Do you want a crooked house?
We gotta get this done.
But in order to do that, we can't rush everything. Tired of this.
My name's Brett Rogers. With my best friend Cliff and our camera guy Max, we're going to be taking on the toughest jobs of our pioneering forefathers. Extraordinary men who headed into uncharted territory, facing danger, backbreaking labor, and unforgiving landscapes to lay the foundations of major industry. We're going to see if we can do the same.
Let's go see how hard it can be.
Cliff and I have always wanted to try and live off the land, like the homesteaders of the 1800s.
So right now we're walking, we're on a farm, an old farm that was settled 200 years ago, right on the edge of where the pioneers settled and where the wilderness begins. And we've struck a deal with the farmer to basically explore the property, find a site to build a homestead.
A couple hundred years ago, homesteaders came to North America in search of a new life. It was these pioneers who laid the groundwork for modern farming, settling the land that eventually turned into our towns and cities. A homesteader is the opposite of a hunter-gatherer, where a hunter-gatherer goes into the woods and they gather and they hunt and they bring things back. Homesteading is really about bringing all those benefits to where you live. By the mid-1800s, most of the good farmland here in southern Ontario had been settled. So the government started enticing homesteaders to move north by offering free land. Unfortunately, that land wasn't great for farming, so many of those homesteads no longer exist.
We've allotted ourselves about 5 days to get it done. The weather's going to be changing pretty quick. Snow could be coming any day. We need a roof over our head just so we can start.
We're gonna use modern lumber, but we're using rough pine, which is, has a pioneer feel to it. And we're gonna build ourselves a homestead, see if we can build something that we could actually live in.
I think homesteading is great because it's like a simple life. You get to grow your own vegetables, take care of your own livestock, build your own things. There's no rules.
Before finding the perfect spot for us to build, we're gonna stop at a nearby barn. We're gonna use the extra lumber in the barn to build our homestead. Until we have a roof of our own, we're gonna sleep in the barn for shelter.
There's the barn, and there she be. It's our modern day lumber shop.
If homesteaders couldn't rely on their neighbors, they would likely carry their own tents and stay in those until they had their own home built. You know, when you think about pioneers, they were obviously very independent people, but they also understood the need and value of community and helping one another. So I think sleeping in a barn is something that, you know, if the weather had changed and you had a neighbor, you know, a couple kilometers down the line, you could say, hey, could we crash here while we're building our structure? And they would be like, yeah, sure, sleep with the goats, sleep with the cows.
Hey, goats!
And the goats.
Hey, guys! Who wants to live with us?
Come on.
Hey, buddy.
Hey.
Well, hello. Don't worry, the sickle's not for you guys.
So once we have our homestead built, we're gonna actually wrangle some goats to our homestead. We're gonna have a pen built, give us an idea of what it would have been like to move and work with livestock. This right here is our barn. We can use whatever we can find inside. There's a wood stove, bunch of lumber, there's an old door. What's really cool about being in this barn is that this barn was part of the original homestead. The lumber inside this building was growing on this property, was cut by hand, was milled by hand, and this barn was built by people that lived here 200 years ago. So what's your criteria for building a build site for a homestead, Cliff?
Some water. Find some water that's close by.
Yeah. See, for me, it's all about the view.
Location, location.
Location, location, location. Like, this field is perfect.
Yeah.
It's flat. We could easily clear it. It just doesn't have that view. So, I mean, it could work,
Oh, let's get closer to the water.
This looks like a better area.
It's opening up, eh?
It's stunning. We're up high, no risk of flood. Water down there. Old growth forest in here, lots of firewood. The sun comes up over here, goes around, and then sets over here, so it's a stunning location.
Okay, I think you should take that sickle out and start using it before you take my head off.
All right, sickle time. This sickle's almost as old as you.
It's probably sharper though.
Not super sharp, but it's working. Doing the trick.
Yeah, looks like it. We should be ready for winter to start building.
Things are going good. The sickle worked really well. We cleared out this whole spot. It's old, it's rusty. It looks like it's about 400 years old, to be honest, but it does the trick. So right now it's about getting that foundation in place, using the cribs. The cribs are essentially a very basic, primitive way of getting the building in a proper foundation, framing it out, and then eventually getting that all skinned in and building our actual cabin. Now we have our build site, so we've established that. So that would be our view, right? So this would be our porch.
Yeah, it's gonna be tight quarters, eh?
Yeah, it's not huge.
Throw some cribs under. But again, Brett, like always, kind of making it up as we go. I think it's important to get the design of the cabin just right. You want to keep it simple. We kind of get our sizes and then just put them up. Stick them together, nail them together. Keep it very, very simple.
So this part's not glamorous, it's not fun, but it's really important. We got to do it properly in order to get to the next step, which is actually building the cabin.
The days are shorter this time of year, and the sun is going down. Tomorrow, we'll pick up where we left off.
What's the plan, boys?
Ah,
Erect a wall. 7-foot wall we're gonna build right now. And then we'll build a 10-foot wall for the front.
okay, tell me what to do.
Nail.
Who thought of the design?
Well, it's kind of both in our heads.
It's actually the one thing we agreed on. There's no arguing with this design. We both think it's gonna work, which is a rarity.
I love using your imagination and just kind of going with what you got, coming up with an idea and just kind of making it happen. I don't enjoy reading blueprints or following orders, or I just like the challenge of almost troubleshooting, which is kind of what you're doing.
Good?
Okay, you're good. Just pack it down.
Whew, I'm sweating. Today our challenge is we need to frame this building. The days are getting shorter, the nights are getting cold. We need to get our frame up. Once we have our frame up, we'll then skin it, which is we're gonna take the boards and we're gonna put them on the side and build our roof. And then after that, you know, we gotta build a door, we gotta build a window, we gotta build our porch. We need to build a little farm area, bring down the goats. So there's lots to do, but that's part of the challenge.
What are you doing? What are you doing?
What? There's a line here.
I went on the end.
Oh, well, you skipped one.
I thought you said there's no redos.
Yeah, well, see, we're supposed to put one here, then a one here. He skipped one. He didn't communicate. What else is new? The things I deal with, Max.
So how do you think it is for me? I gotta deal with both of you.
I know. Look at your hand.
Yeah, I really blew it up a few times. When you're building a homestead, your blood, sweat, and tears actually go in the building, especially when you cut yourself and the blood actually penetrates into the 2x4. You're now part of that building.
Jesus.
What are you laughing at, Max? Max, later I'm gonna get you to hold a nail for me. This'll happen.
Right? 1, 2, 3. Oh.
Huge.
Okay.
treasure!
We're out here living the homesteader experience in southern Ontario, in Canada. After we picked a spot to build, we now need to get the walls up in our cabin.
Okay, I'm good. I'm gonna hammer it down then. Just want it. It's funny, right? Because you draw something on paper, you talk it out, and it makes sense. But then when you actually like raise the walls and start looking at it, it's never how you see it on paper. It's always different in real life. We put up that middle wall and it was like, oh wow, that's way more than we need.
Pretty big.
Well, hey, don't act like you're surprised. You're the one that wanted a 10-foot roof. I would have built an 8-foot peak.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought you both agreed on the design.
Agreed on the design of the idea of the building.
Well, I thought we wanted something nice and big.
Yeah, it is what it is. I'm just saying it's aggressively taller than we needed. That's what happens sometimes. You don't realize the scale of it, right?
Yeah. You're gonna look cool.
It'll look cool. It's just gonna be harder to finish because now to get up top, we need a giant ladder and a lot more building material. So it's kind of a miscalculation on our part.
It can be pretty difficult to get these rafters up. We are 10 feet up and the wind's howling sometimes. If you're not paying attention, you're gonna lose your balance and it's a long way down.
It's just aggressive.
This isn't flushed. Zach, you wanna leave? That's nailing it. Cheers.
Today we're gonna frame. Hopefully tomorrow we're gonna skin it. And before you know it, we're gonna start to have a cabin.
This time of year, the days are getting shorter, the weather can change quickly, and so you gotta use every hour and be productive. Get up early, work late, and hopefully get the job done.
Why does it look all up? It's all right.
What's wrong, Cliff? You look pissed.
Yeah, I don't.
Why are you pissed?
I don't know. Just mistake after mistake and
Hey man,
change after change.
sometimes things happen.
It's one way to put it. The framing's gonna be kind of crucial. I mean, we gotta support a roof on it. If we don't do it correctly, the building will collapse on us.
There we go. In. You good?
Yep.
What are we doing, Brett?
Well, Cliff cut some angles for the rafters. I'm digging a linear fire pit right now. I need a safe place to get a fire going with all this dry grass. It is. Safety's our #1 priority around here on the homestead.
Hey, Brett,
Yo!
you done playing with your fire yet?
Yep,
You give me a hand to get these rafters up then.
let's do it.
You got faith in us?
Got faith in the wall, not us. Nice sunset.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about when I was standing on the wall hitting the hammer. Look at the sunset.
All right, it was a big day at the homestead today. We have the frame of our cabin up. I got this fire going. I'm gonna burn some rough pine, start charring it up.
Burning the wood is an old technique that was developed in Japan to basically make the wood last longer, become rot resistant, and waterproof. Burning wood, you can burn them too far. So that's obviously a risk that we want to make sure it does not happen.
Kind of feels a bit wrong, right? Putting your building material on the fire. Like you want it to actually catch on fire. Yeah, like that. Little character. This is such a cool technique. You'd think I know what I'm doing.
Well, these are looking great.
Thank you.
I'm not going to interfere with your beautifying. Kind of impressed, Brett. It's usually out of the blue. Like Brett's going to wreck it. And he does it properly. It's a miracle sometimes. And that really makes my day.
Had a good day on the build. Going to bed now. Pretty tired.
sleeping in the barn again with goats on the floor. So, yeah.
Great morning. Waking up in the barn, surrounded by feces. It was kind of chilly last night for me. I didn't sleep very well. I can't wait to get that homestead up and running.
We're just getting up now. We're gonna head back to the homestead and continue building, get this dream going.
It's day 3 and we're way behind schedule. The days are getting shorter and colder. Today we really have to focus and avoid making mistakes.
All right.
Build a door. We're gonna put our door here.
Okay.
We'll make it like 36 inches wide.
Yeah. Cool.
All right.
Do it.
Oh, it's not right.
What the fuck?
It's not 36.
Uh-oh. When Cliff makes a mistake, you know, maybe he measures something wrong or cuts something the wrong way, he does take it really personally. Even when something's over, it's still on his mind that, oh, I can't believe the door is, 6 inches shorter than I thought. When it's really like, well, who cares? The door's gonna be fine. But at the end of the day, we're doing everything together and, it's gonna be a pretty badass cabin. We just gotta get the damn thing done. Happy with that?
Good enough. It is what it is.
I'm gonna hit this in.
Yeah.
Bit of a gap there, boys.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, just shut up.
Oh, that's better. See? I guess we'll have to look at Max's footage after and critique it, eh?
Yes, we do.
Focus is a little soft.
Now it's a small door.
What do you think? You proud?
Yeah, just real proud.
All right, yeah, we got the frame up for the door. Cliff had a couple of miscalculations, which, we always have to calculate when we are building something.
Saw jumped on me and cut me.
Next step is we're gonna skin this baby. So it should go up pretty quick, and then after that, our next step would be putting on the actual roof.
You okay, Clifford?
So dumb. So embarrassing. I'm embarrassed in my life.
Oh, you cut yourself nicely.
Yeah, with the saw. That's coming this.
You're having a really good day.
Really gets to me. It really gets me down. Like I take it personally when I make a silly mistake. Like, for instance, I wanted the door 36 inches wide, and it's like 30. It hurts inside that I make those mistakes. And then I get down on myself, and the day starts getting worse. Start shouting at Brett, and he starts getting mad at me, and it makes for an awful long day in a horrible environment. The only person that enjoys it is Max. Can we have a little conference?
What do you want to talk about?
I want to bring the top over. So we can do it by using a rope.
So what's our problem? Like, why you want to do this?
Well, I just feel the building is off. I can see it. It's kind of tilting this way. So I'd just like to pull it back a bit to fight. The biggest problem with the structure right now is we are not square. It is just going to topple over at some point. Once you put the roof on, you're going to be nailing it all crooked, and it's just a matter of time before it falls. So don't put any more nails in.
It's a lot of f***ing work. Why I can't keep hammering here?
No, because I want to twist the building a bit.
So how long do we have to hold it like that for?
Until we nail it all.
Oh, well,
So we can put a brace on it. What do you want? Do you want a crooked house?
I'm just saying.
Okay, just nail it up.
But it's going to affect how we're going to finish building this.
I know that. We're going to put a stake in the ground.
Okay. And stake as in what?
One of these.
I mean, it'd just be easier if you built the damn thing square. Hey, Cliff?
Yeah, it can be a lot easier if we built it square, buddy. I just know for a fact, I'll bet my life on it, we've got to straighten this building right now, properly and square, or else we can't move forward. There's just absolutely no point. Whatever, I give up.
We're living the life of homesteaders, and our cabin is halfway there. But if we don't build it properly, it won't be standing for very long.
We're setting up the circus tent.
Should be, it's a circus here.
Clifford the Clown.
I admire Cliff's desire to be perfect at everything he does, but the reality is we have the weather against us, the days are getting shorter, and we gotta get a building up. I'm not really thinking so much 3 years down the line, I'm thinking 3 days down the line.
It's quite evident.
We also want to bring down the goats and build a pen, and there's lots of things. Like, the list is long. All the things that I want to do out here, I could be out here for a month.
Is this what the pioneers would have done?
Well,
What, have these mood swings up and down?
Yeah.
you know what? The pioneers would have done this, but you know what they would have done? They would have used a mule to pull it.
Oh yeah.
What are we using?
And me.
What are we doing, Cliff?
We are trying to straighten our lovely homestead. When we stand back there, Max, we can see the building's a little off. So if we'll just go by eye. Great. That's good, thanks. Oh, you hear that?
Yeah, I hear it. That's definitely working. It's crazy, all the old school techniques, right? They're just so simple.
Cliff's ingenuity impresses me a lot. Definitely the right type of guy to have on a pioneer type of challenge like this. But I mean, I wouldn't let that go to his head because he can also make things way more complicated than they need to be.
Wow. It's perfect. That's insane. Wow, not bad.
Feel better about that, you?
Yeah, I learned something new too. Okay, back to nailing.
You didn't seem too concerned with it being out of square.
Well, I mean, I probably wouldn't have done what we just did, but I will give Cliff credit when it's due. It'll make the building last longer and look better long term, so.
I just like hearing Brad say he agrees.
It's rare.
It's very rare.
You're a pretty sensitive guy.
You know what? Shut up.
We're gonna switch things up, move away from building the homestead and taking care of our most important need, which is really water.
I'm going to get rocks.
I'm gonna dig.
Okay. So what we're doing right now, we're gonna build. We're totally making this up. We don't know if people did this or not, but this is the logical thing to do. You have a stream, you got water. So we're gonna dig out this dirt, reinforce it with rock, dam it up. And then whenever we come down, we can just dump our buckets in and get water.
I do think pioneers would wing it all the time. It's just all practical things. You're like, hey, we need a water source. Oh, here's a creek. Oh, but you know, it freezes up over half the year. So let's dig it out a bit.
You can dig deep too, right? Like make it deeper.
Why?
Well, then that way there's an actual pool. And then when we dam it as well.
If we dam it,
No.
then it makes a pool.
Here, let me see, like this.
Yeah, I understand how you dig a hole. Oh, am I in the way?
Yeah,
Do you want me to get the rocks then?
sure. I got rubber boots on.
That'll teach you. Well, I'll tell you one thing. Bud. I bet my rocks aren't good enough either.
This well will last longer than us.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Well, last longer than you.
Yeah.
So right now we're just building a retaining wall and then dam it up so it becomes twice as deep. It'll just be clean water coming in. It will flow over. This is actually one of the cool things that we've ever built.
If it works.
As long as there's water coming in, it will work. Look at it, it's already building up.
It's great. It's great.
Oh, man. Live well's done. We've dug it all out. It's filling up now. We've dammed it up. Now we have to let the sediment settle. It should be all clear. We just use the bucket, scoop up crystal clear, fresh, cold drinking water. It's pretty sweet. And you can see our mule in the distance is walking away with water. He can drink that. I'll come back for the clear stuff.
I'm hoping it doesn't rain at all, but the late fall is always typically a very wet time of year, and once you get wet, it's hard to keep warm and get things done.
Well, I want it open. The bottom doesn't open.
Hold on.
Looks like the door needs to come off because it's too tight.
Yeah, we'll
Needs
just
to be
cut
cut.
a little bit off.
So we have a door that doesn't work.
Just you're gonna destroy it if you keep opening and closing it, Brett.
Starting to feel a bit like we bit off more than we can chew, which is a standard feeling. Yesterday we got so much done, and now it just feels like we're barely making progress, but we do have a door that kind of works. Everyone that homesteaded, they had chickens, they had pigs, they maybe had a horse if they were rich enough, maybe a donkey or a mule. We cut a deal with a farmer to use the land, and he had goats. So we're building a very low-tech fence. Lots of work to do. We probably need about 40, 50 trees cut down. Then we gotta weave them in and build some sort of gate, and then we'll go get the goats.
It's a bit of a walk to the barn and back, so we're really hoping we can do this quickly.
I think back in the day, the homesteaders had to work a lot faster and more efficiently because there were so many jobs to do. As soon as you've finished framing this wall, you've got to go and feed your goats. It is a simple life, but there's just so many layers to it.
You would not want to do this without any food in your bucket.
Most animals always follow food. It's safe to say that if food was dangled in front of us, we would definitely follow it.
Come on, guys. Come on, dude. Come on. Come on. Come on. This is gonna be hard.
Yep.
Come on. Houdini.
Goats are very tricky animals to begin with, so to have one named after Houdini is probably a bad thing.
Come on, we'll get some more over here. Come on. Okay. Come on, girl.
Okay, let's go.
Come on.
Come on.
That's a girl. Come on. Come on. Let's carry you.
Come on. Come on. Come on.
Just don't whack me in the head, please.
Come on. Come on.
It's not going the best, but I got a little one, so
Come on.
it's a lot easier than Brett's.
Come on. Come on. I think I underestimated how hard it would be to herd goats. Come on. You're going to your new home.
This is gonna take forever. I have a feeling we're gonna regret doing this before putting on our roof. The weather could change at any second. Cliff and I are homesteading like the pioneers from a couple hundred years ago. But it hasn't been easy. The weather is getting colder and the days are getting shorter. And we're really struggling to get the goats in the pen when we should be putting on our roof.
I didn't know homesteading
Come on.
was about carrying goats through forests.
Me neither.
Okay, okay. Have a snack.
Have a snack. Wow. Underestimated that one. Sometimes theory doesn't always work out, and moving these goats has been way harder than I thought. It's a bit of a journey going through the forest, and then we're halfway to the homestead, so it's also a very physical ordeal. How you doing? You having fun?
No.
No one said being a homesteader was pretty or easy.
Come on, little one.
Come on, over this way. Right through the thick brush. Come on, let's go. We're going home.
Come on. Come on, then.
Oh, man.
Look at all the foliage you get.
Here, have a bite before we put you in. Have a bite, have a bite.
Yeah. You're okay. You're okay. Well, that was fun. Moving goats. I don't think I want to do that anymore, though.
Wow,
Well, we made it.
we made it, barely. That was a workout, a little stressful. Goats don't typically like to be, taken through the forest. They're more of like put them in a pen, put them in a field, put them in a paddock, and they do their thing. But we got a glimpse of what it's like to be a goat herder, which is not a career I have any ambition in following. It was a challenge to get them through the forest, and then when we got them into the pen, they did good, and they seem pretty happy out there now. It's good to get some animals out here and just solidify the homestead and make the experience feel that much more real. Just got 3 more boards to go. We have the hardest part of the wall done. I'm starting to get worn down a bit here. Okay.
Exactly.
Ah!
It's been a great day.
It's been a battle, to be honest. And today it just felt like we hit a wall, literally, as we were putting up the walls. Okay.
That was dangerous.
Yeah. So I just, the energy is low. I just feel a bit defeated, a bit frustrated. Like, I underestimated the amount of work it would take. I thought we would have had the entire thing sheeted by now, but we don't. So I am worried that we're not going to be able to just build the cabin properly. But I can't really get worked up about that. I just got to kind of put in my time and see where I can take it. We've had productive days, just today hasn't felt productive. We'll try to get a good sleep in the barn and get things back on track tomorrow. We had a restless night sleeping in the barn, and sadly, we still have lots of work to do, and the weather has finally caught up with us.
Now, as you can tell, it's raining. Most sensible people would go home and have a cup of tea, put their feet up, but we're not sensible people. So I am cold and very wet and not really enjoying this.
We got the roof on. Next step is we're gonna work on the porch roof. We gotta get the posts up and the ridge beam across. We're using some old barn beams from a barn on the property. So this wood was cut here back in the day. We're gonna size it up and then put it on, put our rafters in, and then hopefully get that all set. So lots to do still. It doesn't help that it's raining, but it is what it is. We're just gonna power through.
It's a good squat, eh?
Wow.
Okay, Brad, if it's heavy, we're gonna throw it towards this.
Okay.
Jump that way.
Okay.
Riggy, cameraman, be aware. We might have to drop it.
So we're gonna pick it up.
We're gonna pick it up.
Yeah.
You're gonna be facing that way.
Okay.
Put it on your left shoulder.
Okay.
Then we're gonna lift it up and put it on that post.
Okay.
The rain's gonna make this super dangerous.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3.
It's day 4 of our homesteading project, and this rain, it's really getting in the way.
Right. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay.
Yeah. Can we come over here?
Yeah. Okay.
Not bad.
Heavy.
It's really raining now.
Keep going. Don't stop now, Brett. We're on to something.
I think the pressures that we have been facing are the same that a pioneer would have faced. You're up against time, you're up against the elements, and you need to get stuff built so you can actually live and thrive out in the elements.
We've got to finish it in the rain. Let's get dry. The only way to be dry is to get that roof up, so we're gonna push through. I'm standing on an unsecured beam, no nails in it, nothing. Okay, we just need to get it in position so I can get the off here. You know when I was telling you most sensible people would go home and have a cup of tea? I wish I went home for a little cup of tea right now. This is not pleasant.
Still raining. Cabin's coming up nicely. We've been able to power through the rain. It's been raining so hard and we have so much to do. We're just trying to get this done. And we're at a stage now where we can put the boards on the roof. It's a little slippery out, so hopefully we don't fall.
Jesus!
Yesterday was a tough one. I felt like we got nothing done. Today we're making some pretty good progress, so just gotta keep powering through.
It's freezing up here.
Keep nailing, bro.
It's so cold.
Yeah, I know. Here, just keep nailing. We're done.
All right.
Yeah, great work, man. All right, it was a long day. It was a battle, but we have a cabin. It looks like it's about 200 years old, which is the whole point. It's not 100% done, but we have a roof on the porch and the actual cabin itself. beautiful overhang porch, a handsome fellow over there named Clifford. And yeah, we powered through in the rain, got her done. Feels pretty good. We got a homestead.
We can actually get out of the rain, maybe hang up our clothes, have a nice little rest, not have to sleep in the barn.
We're pretty proud of ourselves. Built in 5 days. Homesteaders might have maybe taken 10 or more, but that's the time we gave ourselves, and we got it done.
This morning, it was snowing. The temps are dropping below freezing at night, so having a wood stove inside and lots of firewood is key to our survival out here. When I look at this cabin, it just, I don't know, like this thing looks like it's been standing here for 200 years. It looks the part. It kind of gets my imagination going. I know homesteading 200 years ago would have been really, really hard, but it does make me romanticize about the simple life and, you know, the return to the land and getting your hands dirty. It just makes me really happy. It's beautiful. It's one of the most beautiful things I've ever built. I'm proud of it. You know, there's things that we would do differently if we were to do it again, but considering we built a cabin and Cliff and I are still somewhat talking, I think it's, you know, we'll take that as a victory. Chalk that up as a good one. There's lots to do. We got to put a window in on the front, and we're also going to process some chickens that the farmer said we could have. They're old. They're not laying anymore, so they're pretty much their only use now is soup. Now I have chickens back home, but I've never actually plucked them and gutted them. So this is going to be a new experience for me. People don't eat old chickens, but we're going to give it a shot and see how that goes. And this is exactly what a homesteader would be doing. Garlic, onion, carrots.
Root vegetables.
Root vegetables. And a chunk of
butter.
butter.
That looks good.
It's really good. I'll just muscle it. Whoa!
So how long you figure that'll need?
Well, we're gonna give that till after dark, so we'll give it 3 or 4 hours. We'll check on it, and then you know, we'll have a really good soup, and then maybe we, you know, eat away at the meat in there as well. Nice work.
Today was the day of really putting the homestead skills to work. If it was 200 years ago, you definitely have chickens on your homestead.
Wow, that looks amazing.
That's looking pretty good, eh?
Oh, that's hot.
Sure is.
Nice work. We'll give it 2 more hours.
Oh, at least, yeah.
Yeah, but that's looking good, and we got a great bed of coals. Like that would cook really well. I'm pretty excited.
For a pioneer, the reality is that they probably ate 1 meal a day. And you want to go to bed on a full stomach, makes you sleep, keeps you warm. It's been a few cold, wet days, but our cabin is complete. We're warm, and we're about to wrap up our experience with our first home-cooked meal.
Why does it smell so weird?
That's not a good sign.
Our homesteading experience is almost complete, including our delicious-looking homemade chicken soup. Cliff and I can't wait to dig in.
Uh-oh. That's not a good sign. Oh.
Oh, no.
Oh my God. Well, I think it's overdone. I did not think it would.
It said 3 hours at 350. I guess not 3 hours at 550.
I was gonna say it's probably like 700. Oh no. Look at this.
Get it out so we can maybe rescue something.
I don't even think there's anything to eat on the chicken.
Man, that is so disappointing.
It looked so good. Soup looked amazing.
Oh God, there's nothing.
There's nothing.
Well, we gotta eat it.
Oh, I'm not eating that. There's nothing to eat.
It was tough. Like even a raccoon would not eat what we had left over in that bowl.
What do you think happened?
What do I think happened? I think the coal bed was so hot and the cast iron Dutch oven became so hot that it was probably like 700 degrees and there was no liquid in there for a while.
No, that all evaporated within 30 minutes.
But like there's nothing. Here's some skin.
See, that's edible.
Oh, but there's nothing there to eat, Cliff. It looks so good. I was looking forward to this more than any other meal I've ever put together. It was like this nice milky color and the chicken was looking perfect. And now it's just like a total freaking waste. Well, to me, this guy's like munching away like it's the best meal he's ever had.
You can screw up a lot of things on a build, but you don't want to screw up food, especially dinner, because that's the one thing that everyone is, banking on to be there. And so when you ruin a meal like we did, it's just not any fun.
It's horrible that we don't have dinner, but I feel even worse that we wasted 2 chickens. Next time you ask me if I want to come over for dinner, I'm not coming for dinner.
Well, wait, you try and blame this on me?
No, I was doing chores.
You were the one that said off camera, I'm fine with giving it more time.
You're right, I did say that.
I can't believe you're still eating that.
I'm hungry.
Well, that's for dessert.
Our chicken cook-up tonight was a total fail, very heartbreaking. This lantern is a little victory. This is something that we did right. We had a bunch of mason jars. We put a candle inside, popped in some holes on the lid. I would have imagined that homesteaders would have made lanterns just like this, very simple. So it's a nice little victory, nice little innovation on the homestead. Just looking back on the whole experience, we came here, we're on the edge of where the pioneers settled and where the wilderness still stands. It's been tough, it's been a tough one. Both Cliff and I are pretty worn out, but at the same time, trying to cherish it and soak it all in and enjoy my time as a homesteader.
Tea break?
To the homestead. That willow is strong, eh?
Give me the branch, I'll chew on it.
And just kind of a perfect little thing to have on the porch.
I like how the sun came out. We're gonna go home. Home.
I like how the sun comes out when we're done all the hard work.
True.
It's like we say though, right? You can't appreciate these moments without a little bit of hard work and adversity.
That's what makes these moments so great.
Reaching the end of this experience was really rewarding because we are leaving behind a structure that looks like a home, that has, all the functionalities that a homesteader would need. We did it in 5 days, up against darkness, changing weather, and limited skill. Now it's time to go. We've been out here for a while. We've already brought the goats back up to the barn. I'm gonna miss it. It's been a great experience being a homesteader. I love this place so much. I wish I could just live out here for the rest of my life. It's so simple, it's beautiful, but we're gonna board up the door, pack out. Our time to move on is here, and I'll definitely be back here. I'm coming back to the homestead.